All right, welcome to our syllabication practice for today. Since we recently looked at open syllables, we're going to do a little practice breaking apart some words and identifying those open syllables to link that with, okay, when we see this longer word, we're doing this on paper or on the screen right now, but our end goal is to be able to look at the word when we're reading and kind of do this in our brain. So that you can break up the word and know how to pronounce it. But to do that, you need to just kind of have a grasp of, okay, what happens when I have a closed syllable? What happens when I have an open syllable? What do those even mean? So let's take a look. Now we've done a little syllabication practice this year already, and our basic steps were first we underline and label our vowels. We draw a bridge to connect them. We label the consonants on that bridge with a C. We look for the pattern, the V, C, C, V. Divide between the syllables, divide between the two C's, and then label them. And until now, we've labeled them all closed syllable. We might have done a couple where we labeled a suffix. But today we're going to switch it up a little bit. So, got my word here. And you may be able to read this word. When we start practicing this, we use pretty simple words just to get the process down pat. But you can use the same process on a longer word, and it'll help you break down the word. All right, so I'm just going to write on this with my little pen here, and I'm going to follow those steps. I like green. Let's do green. I am going to label my first vowels with a V. Draw my bridge, label my consonants on the bridge, and divide. Now that one was easy peasy. The last step is to label the syllables. What type of syllable is it? So let's think. Our two choices are closed syllable, open syllable. A closed syllable ends in a consonant, which makes the vowel have a short sound. A closed syllable ends in a vowel, which makes that vowel have the long sound, makes the vowel say its name. So, breaking down this word, ban, okay, that's a short vowel sound. It ends in a consonant. Say that is a closed syllable. Joe. Okay, this ends in a vowel, which makes it have that long sound. We don't say a banjo. I'm going to go play a banjo. All right, so Joe, we're going to label with open syllable. Okay, now to make it a little easier, because I know sometimes y'all aren't using a mouse and it's hard to kind of draw things with the trackpad on the computer, I do have some draggables on here. So let's do a couple of others for practice that with our little draggy things here. So same thing, and I put a vowel reminder at the top just in case you're like, this done, it's been forever. What's a vowel? All right, so my vowels. Oh, important note, if you've been drawing, turn off the pen and go back to the clicker before you try to drag things. All right, vowel, vowel. I'm going to draw my bridge, label my consonants on that bridge, and divide. I have that V, C, C, V pattern. I'm going to divide between the two C's. My last step is to label my syllables. Boss ends in a consonant, which closes in that vowel, so I'm going to label it closed. Co, there is no consonant closing in that vowel, so we're going to call that an open syllable. All right, let's look at a 3-syllable word and just remind ourselves how to break that down. It's the same process, you just have to go through it twice. So I'm going to label my vowels. I actually have 3 of them in this word. That's what makes it a 3-syllable word. A syllable is just a word chunk that has a vowel sound. All right, and then I'm going to focus just on these first two. Draw my bridge. All right. Label my consonants on my bridge. Now, wait a minute. This is where, remember, I have to think a little bit. Because I don't just have two consonants on the bridge. There are 3 letters there. Only 2 cars can go on this bridge, though. So somebody's going to have to carpool. So let's see who can ride together. What would you normally see in a word? Which one of these would be a blend you often see in a word? Ulf or fr? I'm going to remind you when we're looking for blends to kind of group them. When we're doing syllabication, a lot of your blends end in R and a lot end in L. So let me see. Ulf does not end in R or L. Fr does. I'm going to go with that one. If neither of them did, you just kind of have to listen and go, okay, wait, which one of these makes the most sense to chunk together? And since I'm scooping and grouping, I will use my pen for a second and just do a little scoop group. All right, so now L is going to count as a consonant, and FR together is going to count as a consonant blend. Now that I've figured out what to scoop and group, I have 2 C's, because these 2 guys are riding together. I'm going to divide between them and move on to my next set. Let me draw my bridge. Now, just so you know, if anything on here doesn't fit the way you want it to, you can always click on it and make it bigger, make it smaller so that it fits. All right, so I've got my bridge there. I'm going to label my consonants on that bridge. And then I'm going to divide between the 2 consonants. Okay, so now we've got 3 syllables we're going to label. Al ends in a consonant after that vowel, so we're going to call that a closed syllable. Fress ends in a consonant after the vowel, closing it in, giving it the short vowel sound. Co, there's no consonant after the vowel, and that O says the long O sound. We'll call that an open syllable. All right, so I've got a couple of pages for you to practice. Let's take a look. Yours will have all the things at the bottom, just like mine did. Okay, these are very simple. I don't think you're even going to have to mess with any blends in here. They're all 2 syllables. You will have a VCCV pattern on all of them. No scooping and grouping. Just label, divide, and label the consonant, or label the blah, 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 syllables. All right. The next one is still with these same words. You're not dividing them into syllables. This is just a quick syllable sort. So these are all the words you just divided in the last page on the last slide. You're going to sort the syllables by the vowel sound and then read them out loud to yourself. Okay? So you see this word here. You can just, it's done in 2 parts. So you can just drag this. Okay, that's I. I'm going to put it there. Toe. There we go. Pin, toe. So you're just going to drag them to the right column for their vowel. Put that back together and then read each column out loud. The next page is more dividing words. And these are still pretty simple, but you do have a few 3-syllable words here. You will have some blends to look for. Let me see. In this word. This word's going to have a blend. Do your best to figure it out and group what you need to group. And then I'll look over it when you're finished. Okay, that's it for today. 3 pages, 2 slides of dividing words, one slide of sorting syllables, and that's it. Until the next lesson in a few days. Have a great day.